Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And here today, guys, I'm here to tell you guys about my experience with AEW Dynamite, because for those that don't know, Dynamite was over at Cincinnati, Ohio, Wednesday night of this week, and I got a ticket last Tuesday and I attended the event this Wednesday, which was September 13th. So I'm here to talk about my first ever experience with AEW Dynamite. So let's go and get started, guys. So AEW Dynamite was my first ever wrestling show because I've been a pro wrestling fan ever since like my childhood days, especially like in the late 2000s. I remember like having SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 on like PS2, and then in like 2009 or 2010 ended up getting some other WWE games for PS2. So those were my introductions to professional wrestling. So yeah, AEW Dynamite just a couple of days ago was my first ever wrestling show, even though I've been a wrestling fan for like close to 15 years now. So yeah, it was a good experience for my first ever wrestling show. It had a lot of good stuff, like you had Jon Moxley defeating Big Bill to retain the International Championship. You also had a really good promo between Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara, known as the La Sex Gods. They had a great back and forth together because they're having a match next week, September 20th in New York at the Grand Slam show, AEW Dynamite. That's going to be a good match. They had a great promo over there at Cincinnati. Really good promo back and forth. And you also had other good moments like Brian Cage getting defeated by Hangman Adam Page. They had a really good match. Hangman Adam Page and Brian Cage, they had a really good match, but Adam Page ended up winning after he hit his finisher. I'm not sure his other finisher name by heart, but one of his finishers is the Buckshot Lariat, but Hangman Adam Page won with his other finisher, which I forget the name of it. But yeah, they had a good match, Hangman Adam Page and Brian Cage. And I really also enjoyed the four-way match because they had a four-way women's match, and the winner would face Saraya at next week's Grand Slam AEW Dynamite episode, in which Toni Storm should end up picking up the win to face Saraya next week for the AEW Women's Championship. So that's going to be a good match. So yeah, I did enjoy the four-way match. It was really good. Like I said, Toni Storm should end up winning. So yeah, guys, these are just some moments that happened at the show. We also had the main event, where it's Samoa Joe taking on Roderick Strong, and Samoa Joe ended up winning, and since Samoa Joe won, he gets to face MJF for the AEW World Championship, also taking place at Grand Slam. And then shortly after the match was over, Roderick Strong ended up collapsing in the ring. When he saw Adam Cole, pretty much, he ended up dropping because he's been currently, I guess, having neck issues because he's been wearing a neck brace for the last few or so weeks, Roderick Strong, in which Adam Cole comes out, and I guess Roderick Strong sees him and he pretty much collapsed to the ring. And then as Adam Cole tries to make his way with Roderick Strong on a stretcher, Adam Cole doesn't really get to go with Roderick Strong to the emergency room at the facility, I guess, because Matt Taven and that other dude, I'm forgetting his name, Mike Bennett, I think his name is, they pretty much stopped Adam Cole from wanting to go with Roderick Strong to the emergency room. So, yeah. Then we had a very cool moment where Samoa Joe came back out and put a submission hold on Adam Cole. So, yeah, that's pretty much how the show ended, because it started at like 7:30 and it didn't end until like after 10, in which I left the show in Heritage Bank Center I left a little after 10 because I wasn't going to be able to stay until like real late, because I think it ended at like 11:30 when I read online, but I didn't get to stay the whole time because they were recording like Rampage right after Dynamite, and I didn't get to stay for all of that, but it is what it is. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys some of the results. Now I'm going to talk about my experience and what I thought of it overall and how it went for me. So yeah, despite being my first ever wrestling show in person, it was great. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. I got to cheer some of the wrestlers. I got to boo some of them. Like, one moment that I really enjoyed a lot was booing Don Callis because he ended up turning his back on Kenny Omega like a few or so months ago. And that was definitely a great moment to boo Don Callis. I also got to sing Judas, Chris Jericho's theme song by his band Fozzy, which that song and album was released back in 2017. But Chris Jericho's been using the Judas song as his AEW theme for a while now, and everybody gets to sing along with it when Chris Jericho comes out with his entrance. And it was just a fun moment to sing along with Judas because I'm a big fan of Fozzy, and that song in particular. It's one of my favorite Fozzy songs in general, and it was just a really good and amazing moment to be able to sing along with that song along with other fans that were in attendance this past Wednesday at Cincinnati, Ohio. So yeah, that was a great moment, along with booing Don Callis. Like I said, I really enjoyed the match between Samoa Joe and Roderick Strong. It was also cool that Samoa Joe pretty much got kind of some payback because Adam Cole, he's been teaming with MJF for like the last couple months or close to that. And Samoa Joe, since he's pretty much feuding with MJF now, he went after Adam Cole since MJF wasn't in attendance Wednesday because MJF has been suffering from what Samoa Joe done to him like the week or two before. So yeah, that was also a cool moment. But my experience overall, it was really good to see wrestling in person because, believe me, it looks way different on TV and anywhere else than in person. It looks different in person than it does on like watching it on YouTube or a free wrestling website. It looks way different in person, and it actually is better in person than watching it somewhere on the internet for free or watching it on TV. So yeah, it's definitely cool to see wrestling in person for the very first time ever. So yeah, guys, I really enjoyed my first night with AEW and just my first ever AEW show, my first ever wrestling show in general. So yeah, guys, this is all I'm going to say. Thank you, AEW, for putting on a good show for us, especially since it was my first ever time going to a wrestling show in general throughout my 26 years. Just a really great moment, and just had a very good time there. Had a blast. Unfortunately, it sucks that I didn't get to stay until like the whole thing for like Rampage because I had to get home because I had to walk to Cincinnati to see the show and walk home afterwards. So I had to leave a little bit early, like I said, around a little after 10. But it is what it is. I'm glad I got to see at least the main stuff, like Big Bill getting defeated by John Moxley and the other good stuff that happened, everything that happened that night, I mean. So yeah, guys, great experience. Can't wait to see more wrestling shows in person, whether it be AEW or WWE, or maybe even one of these days I can go to Impact Wrestling. That'd be cool too, but we'll just have to wait and see how those go. So yeah, guys, this is my first ever experience at a wrestling show. Just wanted to talk about it for a while. It was fucking amazing. One of the best nights of my whole life, if not the best night of my life, to be honest. It was just a blast. Unfortunately, I didn't get to buy any merch or anything like t-shirts or cotton candy or any popcorn, because they were selling popcorn and even cotton candy and of course merch. But unfortunately, I didn't get to buy any of that because I'm low on money currently and I didn't get to buy anything. But I'm thankful and blessed that I got to experience a wrestling show for the very first time, and I can't wait to do it over and over again because it was great. So yeah, guys, I'll see y'all next time. Peace.